car driving, so I cannot record.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Thanks, Brianna.
Yep.
Okay, so I think we're recording now. So with three-way calls, you guys, this really, where you are in your business, you really want to utilize your upline. And I can't say that enough times because you're not, you know, this business isn't, we just kind of tell you what to do and then like shove you off on your own and say, okay, go do it. This business is, we take you by the hand and walk with you through every step of the way and teach you as we're walking you through it, so that there comes a point when you go, oh, I totally have this. I totally know how to answer that question. I completely know what to say to this person, you know? And so part of that process is doing three-way calls. And so the people that you're talking to, I want to encourage you, this is even a little step outside of a three-way call, but it's the same sort of thing. You know, we text a lot now instead of calling. And what I encourage my new reps to do is when they're texting, the people they know about Juice Plus. Like, let's say you're in a conversation with somebody and they tell you their kids are sick all the time, and you tell them, oh my gosh, I know something that could help. And so then they say, really, what is it? And this has all gone on via text. Then I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to add my friend Rihanna into this conversation because she can give you a lot. She has a lot more experience with this, or she, you know, tell them why you're bringing her into that text. But then create a three-way text group, and you know, you can give them the overview of what Juice Plus is, or you may want Rihanna to. And that way, as your friend texts back, Rihanna sees the whole conversation and she can help you drive. Does that make sense? So bringing somebody else into that conversation, whether it's a Facebook message, a text, you know, or a call, however you're doing it, you want to bring somebody else in that honestly has a lot more experience. And it's fine to tell people that. She has a lot more experience with this. I'm sure she's going to be able to answer all your questions. Or if it's a specific issue, and I know Rihanna has experience with that issue, I'm gonna connect those dots. Because the more you can connect the people you're bringing together, the more trust there's gonna be initially. Does that make sense? And so for a three-way call specifically, you know, Rihanna was just saying she has several people on her team who are trying to get newer people that are trying to get somebody onto a three-way call. And it's human nature. I mean, if I were to say to you, oh, if I were talking to you about, you know, let's say a product other than Juice Plus, my makeup, and I were to say, oh, I want to get you on a three-way call with my rep, you would go, ugh. Nobody wants to do that, right? Because you feel like that person is just going to sell you, and it just feels awkward and, you know, icky. But if you were to rephrase that and say, you know what, my really good friend Kim knows a whole lot about this makeup. I really don't know anything about it, or I don't know a whole lot about it yet. I just have been using it and I love it. So I'd love to just connect you and Kim. Is it okay if we just give her a call together? Right? Does that, do you feel a difference with that?
Brenda's shaking her head, yes.
I need something here. Okay, so you know, that verbiage of you're just connecting to people, doing like saying the words three-way call, that's like, I want to do a big circle with the line through it,
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to get onto a three-way call. I can
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you that. It just sounds weird.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say, I just want to connect you with my friend, let's, I know she's free at 3:00 on Thursday. Does that work for you?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And sometimes don't ask him a yes or no question. Do you want to?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's, I can pull up her schedule. She's super busy, so she keeps her schedule online. She's free on Thursday at noon and at 3. Which one works better?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And does that feel, the thing is, I want you, in order for it to come out of your mouth and into that person's ears in a smooth way, it has to feel good for you. If you feel awkward about what you're asking them to do, then it's not going to come across well.
Yeah.
So if that verbiage doesn't resonate with you, if it's like, I can't see myself saying that,
Mm-hmm.
I want to encourage you, because I want to get on this call, I want to get to overcoming the objections, which is the next piece of this call. But talk to your sponsor, or your sponsor's sponsor, like go all the way up to your upline NMD if you need to, and we can help you find verbiage to invite someone onto a three-way call that feels really comfortable. Does that make sense?
Well, can I say something?
Absolutely.
Yes, Janice, I so get what you're saying, because when I started off a short time ago, Rihanna is my sponsor, and she was fabulous. I remember when I started talking to prospective distributors, and I would let them know that I'm new. I've only been in this like barely a week. So my sponsor, she's fabulous. She's on this lifestyle journey with me. She knows the business. She's available. Are you available such and such a time? Give me a couple of times, give me a couple of dates, and I want to get a three-way going with Rihanna. It happened just like that. I had 4 distributors. I got them on a three-way call. They're signed up, and Rihanna's always been there. And I love that idea of the moral support that the sponsor will give you, because she's always there for me. And I just want to say this as well. About a week ago, I had a little family situation where I had to fly across country, and Rihanna was there for me. She called my downline. She let everybody know she was there. If they had any questions about the business, she knew that I was not available for a week. My brother's terminally ill. And she was just there for me. It was fabulous. And then when I came back, I let her know that support meant so much to me. And I think that, you all just sharing that with everyone is very important. And as far as the verbiage, it was so easy, because you just speak from your truth. You speak from your heart, and you just let them know, this is my lifestyle journey. This is what I want for myself, and I want this for you. And this person can help you understand it better, because I'm learning. And when you say it to them like that, they're like, oh, okay, Zaima. Well, sure, I'll talk to her. And, it just went right, just perfect. So I agree with everything you're saying.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Zaima.
Well, you're welcome. And Rihanna wanted me to talk last week, and believe it or not, my car broke down. I was waiting for the tow truck, and I'm like, I can't get over. I'm here.
So, and you did it on this call, which is great. So thank you for being willing to share that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I do think, though, that I think the idea of saying it and letting people hear your voice is good. Letting people hear your energy is good. And I know, like Heather and I talked about this today, she was thinking of maybe leaving her a voice message, this gal that we've been trying to get on the three-way call. So, and the idea of maybe we shouldn't call it a three-way call all the time, that maybe sometimes that's not the best thing to call it. So, but I do know that Zaima does more talking on the phone than texting. And I think that has worked to her benefit. because she does have this energy that is contagious, and it comes through her voice. And I think that's one of the reasons why she was able to do so well so early on, because she doesn't hardly do the texting thing as much as, as much as getting on the phone with people. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So Tasha, did you have something that you wanted to add? No? Okay. I just want to, because you unmuted yourself, so I'm gonna mute you back because you got a lot of noise.
I dropped my phone. It must have unmuted.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's right. I muted you. You moved. She moved. Okay, there we go. Hi, Lori. I see you're on there, girly. Hi, good to see you.
A couple minutes late. I didn't mean to be, but
That's okay. Welcome to the call. I'm so happy to see your face.
thank you.
Janice, you want to go on into overcoming objections then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have some time left. Okay. So overcoming objections is something that I know as a new person, objections can be, I'm like nerve-wracking. And basically an objection is when someone objects to looking at the product or says no, or looking at the business or something like that. And so it can be nerve-wracking, and none of us really love rejection. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about overcoming, because we can't be in this business. It's unrealistic for us to think that we can be in this business and be successful without hearing no, or not right now, or something at least once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. So go on up. So how do we overcome those things? And I will tell you that a large way to overcome objections is just in how you start the conversation, and understanding that we are not in the business of selling people. We are not in the business of trying to convince people of anything or persuade people of anything. And I guarantee you, if that is stuck in your mind, first and foremost, you will have less and less objections to have to deal with, because no one likes to be sold to. So just keeping in mind that our job is to provide education and understanding. Those are the things that we are tasked to do before anything else, is provide education and understanding about what we do. Okay. So that when it comes, if someone does say, I just not sure that this is for me right now, you're not able to take that personal, because it really doesn't have to do with you. It has to do with the product or the education or the whatever it is that they're saying no to. So always detach yourself away from the outcome. So just know your task is to provide that education and that understanding. And we like to share stories a whole lot, because most likely people are not going to reject stories. So at least just asking people if they're open to hearing your story. Are they open to hearing more about your journey, about your lifestyle, about this thing that has made such a change in your life, and sharing from your heart? Most people are not going to say no to at least you asking that. Are you open to learning more about this thing that has made such a huge difference in my family? And then let's say sometimes we have different objections in regards to how people respond to network marketing, or how people respond to something that they would have to pay money for. And we will kind of go through some of those objections specifically. But the thing that I want to say first and foremost is to remember that we want to have empathy for them. If they're not really sure, about what this is, or they don't seem like they're, too open to it at first, we want to have empathy for them and not win an argument. Like, that's not our end play, is not to win an argument. And I know that can be something that very quick and very natural, feels natural to try to defend your product, defend your company, and feel like you have the last word. And that's really not necessary. I will say using questions, asking them to tell you more about that. It's like, for example, Eric Worre uses this example in his book, but if someone says, is this one of those things? Or is this one of those pyramid things? He says, just hold off. Don't say things like, what do you mean? Like, every other corporation in the world is a pyramid and just make them feel small. Don't try to make them feel small. Don't try to make them feel stupid just to make yourself seem smarter. He says, hold off and just say, oh, it sounds like you have a story. Can I hear more about your story? Or have you heard about network marketing before? Or what do you know about it? And he just asks them a question that basically opens the line of communication instead of shutting them down, feeling like you're just shutting them down. Does that make sense? Because I know how it has felt in the past where someone says, oh, it's too expensive. And what do you want to do? You want to say, really? Well, I'm sure you're not saying that when you're going down Neiman Marcus or when you're shopping in Macy's. Is that $50 dress that you spent? Is that too expensive? Like, we can think of all these different things to come back and try to, in volley basically with them. And that's not the point of what we need to do. We can say things like, so feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found is a technique that I have used a lot, and I've tried to pass this on to my team when it comes to dealing with objections. But feel, felt, found is basically is that empathetic piece. It's saying, oh, I know how you feel. I felt that way too. But what I have found is that we are able to save more money by eating clean and investing in Juice Plus because we're not buying some of the crap and junk that we used to buy. So that feel, I know how you feel, that immediately disarms them. That immediately brings their walls down. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. And that's that empathy. Like, I've been in your shoes. I have felt the same way. Now you're unifying yourself with them. But what I have found, and now you're inspiring them, you're inviting them into this new perspective. What I have found, this is a part of your story now that you're going to be telling them after that phrase. What I have found is we've actually been able to save more money by investing in our health this way, because now we don't have as much cravings for the junk food and the fast food and the stuff like that. So now we have the money to be able to invest. So does that make sense? That feel, felt, found is like gold, because empathy is huge. And anytime someone feels like they're being heard, first of all, they're being heard. And then second of all, they're being validated for how they feel, because you said, I have felt the same way. And that's just a good way to disarm people. Any questions on that?
Well, I would just like to make a comment. I think that's excellent, because I actually had to use that this morning. I remember you had told us about the feel, felt, found. I was talking with someone and they said something about, oh, that may be expensive. And I said, I understand how you feel. But what I've experienced is I'm an avid juicer. I juice every day. I said, it costs me approximately $60 a week to go to Sprouts to get all my organics to juice. I said, and then what I found with this is that it's barely $2 and some change a day per person if you get the trio. And then if and going down the line if they want to do or whatever. And I said, when you really think about $2.50-something approximately a day, I said, we spend more in Starbucks, $5 a pop. I said, what do you think? Oh, you know what? That is true. That's not that expensive. So when they looked at it from the aspect of it only being $2 and some change per day for a 30-day supply, then it brought that away that it was really expensive, because yes, I do buy Starbucks every day. Yes, it costs me over $5. And they were just like, oh, you know what? I think I want that. So I got another potential sale. And I just wanted to say that really works.
Yeah.
And it's like you feel they feel you feeling them. They don't feel you're pushing them.
Mm-hmm.
And they know what they're saying, but you're showing them the reasons why.
Mm-hmm.
And it just went so smooth. I got like 3 sales a day that I'm going to be locking in, but thank God. But It was like, wow, it was the same thing. I used this. And then I had someone else tell me, oh, I've used Juice Plus before. I said, oh, really? When was that? She said, oh, about 8 years ago. I said, And then I thought about, okay, what to say next. I waited, and then I said, well, how was your experience? How did you like the product? And she came and said, oh, it was great. I just stopped ordering it. You know what? I'm ready to get myself back on track. I'm like, yes!
Perfect timing. Yay. Go.
So I agree. I absorb like a sponge when Rihanna talks. So
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Zaima. Yeah, I just need to bottle you up and like get everybody some Zaima juice. So to drink. So that feel felt found is really huge because that it does really help the outcome, I think, of your conversation, and hopefully negates, some of those objections. So the other thing I wanted to mention is when someone does say no, or they're just not willing, sometimes very few times I'll ask the question, are you open to learning more? And someone will say no. But sometimes it does happen. But the thing that I want to just make sure that I encourage all of you is that no very rarely means no forever. Most of the time, no means not right now. And I have found after 4 years of doing this, I have had people that have come back around after saying no the first, 2 or 3 times. I'm finally, send me a message on Facebook or text me and say, I'm finally get on board with this Juice Plus. I'm finally ready to go all in. And, I might have mentioned it to them the first time 2-3 years ago. And so just keep that in mind, that it takes the average person 4 to 6 exposures to something before they are ready to join or buy. So one time talking to them is not necessarily enough. Definitely make sure that you care enough about them to give them multiple exposures to your story, to the product, to the culture, multiple invites to hear, another Zoom recording or to come to another event. And sometimes people are worried about if that's bothering them. But honestly, I have had people that are asking me, please make sure that you ask me again. If I continue to invite them and they're not able to come, or they say, no, I can't make it, or not this time, but usually I'm getting not this time, but ask me again. Okay. And you hold them to that. Make sure that you're taking note of those people that are saying, no, not this time, but ask me again. Or next time you have that event, reach out to me then. Make sure you're keeping track of those people when they say that, because they're going to know how serious you are about this if you follow back up with them or not. If you're just asking them one time and they say no and you never contact them again, they're going to know you're not really serious, and they're going to know you don't really believe in your product and your mission and whatever it is that you're doing. So give people those multiple exposures. Janice, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, one thing, did you guys all notice the verbiage Rihanna said? She said, when I ask people if they're open to learning more, I hardly ever get a no. Like, that's key. That's huge verbiage. Most of us, our tendency is to go, oh, come to I want you to come to this event, or I want you to listen to this video, or I want you to, I want you to. Like, that it's so much more effective if you can say, are you open? Are you open to learning more? Right? When you ask questions in that way, are you open? No one's ever, like, very rarely is someone going to go, nope, I'm closed.
Yep.
Right? So just, and even when when you find their need and first bring it up, a lot of times you can say, are you open to a suggestion about that? Right?
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to, very few people, I shouldn't say no one, but very few people are going to go, nope.
Very few people. Yeah. Very few people. So be pleasantly persistent. And I like to think of, like, one of the people who I know is really good at that is Brenda Engel. She is like one of the most pleasantly persistent people I know. And so she just continues to, just tap on people and drip on them and give them invites. And I'm going to read this one thing, and then we are going to need to hop off here. On what was the one thing I wanted to ask? Oh, okay. Pyramid. Has anybody been asked about, is this one of those pyramid scheme things? Yep, Brenda said. I can read lips really well. So this is what I wanted to read, what Eric Worre says, and this is in GoPro. If you do not have this book and you're on my team, please tell me and I will send you one. Zaima, do you have this book? I don't think you do. Okay, I need to mail it to you. In addition, you can relate to them by saying you had the same objection initially and telling them how you overcome. So if someone uses the word pyramid with me, I always say, oh no, pyramid schemes are illegal and I would never be involved in something illegal. I love that because sometimes people are just like so thrown off by, you know, us asking them about something that has to do with network marketing, and they immediately throw that pyramid word out there without really knowing what it means and not really understanding that pyramid schemes are illegal. And like, this is me you're talking to. I would never be involved in something illegal. And so I just wanted to make sure I shared that because that's something that I don't think I've ever thought of answering that way, because I almost always go into, well, you know, like kind of like you said, almost every corporation out there is a pyramid. Like no one can get to the top. You know, everybody starts down here. All the little people are at the bottom and nobody can get at the top. That's a pyramid right there. But what we do is upside down. And I've gone through that. Like this is more like an upside down pyramid where everybody starts at the bottom and it's a glass ceiling at the top. And not to say that that's bad if you're going to go into conversation with people later more about that. But I just love how he says, you know, at the beginning, like, oh, no, those are illegal. And I would never be involved in something illegal. So I just wanted to make sure I shared that. You guys have any other questions about objections before I hop off? No? Well, I'm so proud of you guys for getting on and taking the time to invest in your businesses. Great to see your faces, and I will stop the recording so that we can hop on to the other call.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.